Wagwan guys, what's going on? I'm doing well. I can't complain. Happy New Year. Hope everyone's doing good, right? I'm gonna try to hit this video really quick. It could just drag on. I can make this video a little bit longer than it needs to be, but I'll just give you a little backstory. This is an update video on the incident of Trae the Truth and Zero that happened late 2022. These guys fell out. They did multiple albums together. I actually even seen them in the Omnia one time at the bar. I think Zero was going up to his room. Trae was still at the bar, and I said like, you know, I don't want to say fanned out, but like, you know, I just chopped it up with him for a second. I was like super young, and like I've met Zero at car shows and stuff. Took pictures with him. Not a very tall guy. I was like in high school, maybe even like. Yeah, probably like high school, maybe even like junior high, and I was like taller than him, so he's not like a towering guy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like 5'11", maybe 6 foot on a great day. So anywho, definitely I would say Trae is Zero Senior, okay, but notoriety wise, Trae has kind of been shunned from you know, popularity and, you know, basically taking the main stage, because I believe he had like a day associated with him. He like had his own day in Houston called Trae Day, but I think you know, someone ended up like passing away on that day. Like he was at some park, you know, and it was like a drive-by shoot. It was some violence. They end up pinning it back towards something he had going on and some type of retaliation. They banned him from all radio stations in Houston, probably like all radio stations, and yeah, he really just gets no play after that. And so, but like, he's still doing his thing, right? He doesn't need mainstream to be successful. So I don't know if it was like some jealousy, because, you know, I guess he's still hanging around Zero in some type of situations, and then him and Zero had a falling out too, right? And then Zero like offered to box him in a celebrity boxing match, which I think was like a good thing to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna get you some some popularity. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna start talking about you again. But he took that as like straight disrespect, I'm guessing. And you know what? Zero just had performed at the rodeo too, so it was like he had this big set at the rodeo, you know, and Zero's out and the body's moving. You know what I'm saying? It also could look like jealousy, but then at the same time, remembering that whole past situation, and then boom, these guys run into each other, you know, if they hadn't ran into each other already. But that's what it was. Okay, they end up squabbling. Zero gets jumped by Trae and his brother. Comes to show now that Zero has pressed charges on him, and I really think like he maybe had to do that, you know, just as like maybe a self-protection, because these guys are already like falling out, right? So it's nothing like, you know, in-house argument type thing, right? And even if it was, like, then that's still kind of sketchy. But my thing is this: it's almost like if Zero didn't, you know what I'm saying, it was like the city of Houston would like have had to take that to trial, or, you know, or try to prosecute him in some type of way of assault or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They would have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. And like I say, Trae's a good guy, right? I think. Well, I spoke to him, you know, and for the little time I spoke to him, he seems like a good guy. I spoke to Zero too. Well, I've met him. I didn't say like just speaking to him as like some figurehead or authority. No, I just, you know, met them as, you know, as like a fan, right? And they both seem cool. Things like this happen. Like I say, Trae, you know, he's doing things to clear his name right now. He helped a woman out, like an old woman. She was like 76, 86, some old age woman who like couldn't pay her bill, and she was jailed for that. I think he maybe got her out of jail, and like, you know, really good move. That's just a good move that he did. And it's a shame that, you know, an elderly woman can go to jail for something like that. As simple as like an $87 bill that she didn't pay. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that just goes to a whole nother thing, like assisted living and just, you know, the severity of certain crimes. But that's just, it is what it is. And he's helped someone else, I believe, as well. And like I say, things get out of hand. You really want to keep them in house. But to be completely honest, just as you age and life goes on, you learn like what's hot and what's not. Like and if you do not like kind of pick that up very well, it makes for a difficult life. And I see it all the time. It's just like anything you will learn, just like a subject in school. If someone picks that up and they're good with numbers, they're good with just common sense and being a conceptual thinker and being able to put two and two together, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that, and take into information well. Not to get too deep into it, but I'm just saying, like, if you do not pick up on the right and wrong things to do, it just makes for a difficult life. It just does. And sometimes, like, you just have to know, like, okay, this is streets, but we're also like, we're top tier of the streets. We're top tier of, saying this rap stuff in Houston. So like, you just have to know what to associate yourself with. I think Scarface and Willie D did a wonderful job of this. Even maybe I would say Little Flip, he's like kept his head low. Chameleonaire, right? He kept his head low, and all his falling out he had was like with Michael Jordan. And even now he's turned himself into like a businessman. So I think some people do this very well. However, making the transition like completely out of the streets or whatever, and that type of lifestyle, your former lifestyle, some people are, they take harder to it. So I can I can kind of like admonish that behavior to a certain degree. But like when you're starting to have like public brawls, it's like literally police officers try to break you guys up, and these guys are afraid to even like hold you back because you're that big of a figure. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that was like super. I don't think he went to jail that night. That's like, what I'm saying? That's like on that's some heavy stuff right there. He didn't go to jail. Like, I think he just turned himself in. Like Trae just walked and turned himself in. So that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? For like something like that to happen. That's why I can see like Zero, when he's like a little bitty dude and he's always talking about being one deep. You know what I'm saying? That's how I can see like how he was really shocked that like something like that could just happen. You know what I'm saying? And I like Zero, I like his music. You know what I'm saying? Both of those guys, I hope they bringing in 2023 and moving forward, they can get it going. So peace, guys. I'm out.